Here in the Research Triangle Park, we're really fortunate to have such great companies with thousands of employees, mostly in the tech and life sciences fields. Unfortunately, though, with these companies, we get calls a couple times a year from clients who happen to have been laid off. A lot of these clients are typically in their 50s, early to mid 50s, and high earners, but also with a lot of financial responsibilities. They're giving their time of life. They're sending kids to college, taking care of elderly parents, all on top of planning for their own retirement. So when getting laid off, this can be really impactful and kind of throw a wrench into their financial plan. We've highlighted kind of three areas over the years when working with these clients that we find to be really kind of the next steps to take. One being what to do with income, two being insurance, what to do there, and then number three, what's next? What's next for these employees? So starting with income, this is typically we're going to start with a severance package. So if they're getting one-time salary or even just a built-up vacation, sick leave payout, is there any flexibility there of when they can take that income? So looking at the severance package from a whole. Also, as far as income goes, stock options. So when termination comes, typically those options are going to become 100% exercisable or vested at that point, depending on what kind of options they are, stock compensation. So that's great as far as giving them some income, but there also is going to be a tax implication of that. So if you can spread that out over a year or two, that often can save you a little bit in taxes. Looking elsewhere for income, what kind of assets do you have? Do you have an individual taxable account that you can pull from, especially over a short time period, just to get you back on track, pulling from some of those accounts? There's a 401k. If you have that, especially if you're over the age 55, you may be able to pull some there. Outside of assets, look into the equity in your home. Typically, you've built up some equity there, especially at this age, so you could get a home equity line of credit to help cover if needed. Insurance. So if you've had the company health insurance plan, now you're kind of on your own in most cases. We've seen some companies have retiree medical insurance, but otherwise you're looking at the COBRA policy or even going to the marketplace. So getting that taken care of. Life insurance. So at this stage, typically upon termination, those coverages lapse. So you may still need some coverage depending on your situation, especially with all these folks relying on you financially. But in general, sometimes with other assets, you may be self-insured. So you're used to having that 1x, 5x salary, whatever it is. Just check to see what's still needed for your specific situation. Lastly, what's next? So you've got maybe for the first time in 20, 30 years, some time off. Maybe this can be a trial run at retirement, a little mini retirement. And typically we'll see kind of a honeymoon phase of, okay, I'm going to do a bit of traveling, going to get some rest and relaxation. But then reality kind of kicks in about a month or two in. And what are you really doing with it, your everyday life? So this is you're figuring things out as far as a trial run at retirement. And that actually may end up leading to getting back into the workforce, whether that's a consulting related to the field that you were in, entrepreneurship, potentially into a new field, not what you have spent the last 20, 30 years in. And then lastly, you may just want to work part-time. So not a true full-time retirement, but 20 hours a week, have some income, helps slow down the depleting of the assets. So these three things are what we kind of focus on, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of moving pieces and unknowns that come with being laid off. So check back in with your financial plan and make sure that these decisions you're making from an investments tax standpoint keep you on track for your true retirement goals. Check out the links below. We go into more detail on this subject, including a pre-retirement checklist and other blogs and podcasts on these topics we've discussed.